Fairy's imagination. In the lap of Mount Sagarmatha there stood a house of a blonde fairy. She often looked at Kathmandu city from the mountaintop and dreamt, "I wish I had a house of my own in this valley." Near the Fua lake was the house of her maternal uncle, Damaru. He had been living there for years in peace and happiness. The fairy had visited him 10 years ago. She remembers how her heart had leapt while boating in the mighty Fua. The description that her uncle gave of Kathmandu at the time is still fresh in her memory. One day, a big mass of snow suddenly started sliding down the mountain slope, and the fairies were panic-stricken. They flew towards their relatives' homes on Earth. The blonde fairy, too, hurried towards her uncle's. After a stay of a few days, the uncle had some business in Kathmandu and began readying himself. The fairy knew that a good opportunity was at hand. "Uncle, I want to visit Kathmandu too. Won't you take me with you?" The uncle could not say no to his small sweet niece. Wow, how beautiful! Kathmandu stood in its grandeur, with beautiful places like Ranipokari, Gantaka and Hanumanduka, 55 Windows Palace and more. The following few days she was busy visiting the famous places of Kathmandu, Lalitpur and Bhaktapur. She enjoyed the city very much. One day, as the blonde fairy was peeping out of her window, she heard the sound of a bullet being fired. "Oh my God, people are fighting with each other on the street." She ran towards her uncle and hugged him. "Uncle, why are these people fighting?" "My little girl, this is a war. People fight and kill each other in war, you know." This continued for a few days. The war and the misery it brought made the fairy very sad. This, at least, was not the Kathmandu of her dreams. A few days later, she came out on the street. She was shocked to see the people crying in agony. In the farthest corner of the street, she saw a small girl weeping with her head on her knees. "Why are you crying, sister?" asked the fairy. The girl started crying even louder when she saw the blonde fairy. The fairy wiped her tears and said, "Don't cry. I will make you my friend." "Why shouldn't I cry? Yesterday, my house collapsed. My father and mother were burnt in the fire. All my belongings have been destroyed in the war." This proved too much for the fairy. "Don't worry, I will take you to the fairies' land," she assured quickly. "How?" the girl was prompt to reply. "I have no wings. I can't fly with you." Yes, she was right. How could the blonde fairy take the girl to her land? She was helpless. She could not say anything and returned with a sad heart. If only there were no wars, how beautiful would the world be if people lived in peace and loved each other, she thought. But will the fairy's imagination come true?